We have millions of dollars on the line for that moment that you only get once in a lifetime in business to show what you can do on your first outgo.
It won't even be a year when the car is done at SEMA. It's gonna be 11 months.
There's always the back end of like, are we gonna be able to pull this off? But I have always been a person that like just looks forward, and I don't want to think about failure because that's just not how I was raised.
I definitely think we'll be on the younger side, if not the youngest, in the Battle of the Builders, because not a lot of shops have the ability and the resources to be able to build something like this, to be able to compete in the Battle of the Builders.
My dream in the industry is to be that builder that young builders inspire to be. That's my goal at the end of the day, is to inspire other people to do even things greater than we could ever imagine with the new stuff that they're gonna have in their time.
In order to win Battle of the Builders, you have to have a perfect piece of art. And that's not just having a motor and having it on wheels. This vehicle has to represent something that's so much bigger than the shop. They have to come to the table with perfection, with a great story behind it, and to be able to beat out every other well-known builder in the world.
So should I cut these real quick? Just cut these John straight, because it's doing this. Like feel in here? And it's pulling out.
Yeah. Let me put this away.
Yeah, put the camera away.
Carbon fiber dust. All electrically conductive, dude. Sort it out. Oh, dude, I don't think I have a gift. I just figured it out. 4 years of like doing it manually, you know, I was like, bro, there's no way I'm ever gonna make like decent money like doing this. And I knew like computers were like the jam. Thing's so fun to get out, huh?
Jesus Christ.
It's terrifying, bro. Almost went for a ride.
Right.
I actually used to play like a video game, like where you would like build stuff. It was called Gary's Mod, which is funny. And I was pretty good at that. So I always like would have friends on the game, you know, and be like, bro, I wish I just did like computer-aided design, you know?
Just don't breathe.
At all. The thing hairs?
Huh?
All right.
It's upside down, Jack.
Is it?
Yeah.
Damn, that shit look right to me. That would make sense why the bolt holes don't work.
Playboy.
That fender's all flexed, huh? Here, let me pull it out.
Oh, I ain't pulling that shit.
It's so hard to get out. Oh my God.
I'm gonna lift this up so you're not standing on the floor.
Right. You gotta go about yay high, dude. Say yay, huh?
About yay.
About yay.
About right here.
When I grew up, I played team sports, so you had to have a team that played together. And it's no different than business. I mean, it's the same thing. We all have to play together to win.
The air intake's a huge component on the build because there's a lot going on in it. You have obviously the intake itself. You have the intercooler tank that's on there as well. You have the fuel lines on there. You have the fuel pressure regulators that are on there. There's so much going on in this one aspect of this intake you can consider that one of the second heartbeat of that motor. It's gonna work, but it's gonna be a chooch to get it together.
Piss you right off. It looks wild though. That is a piece and a half there, Haas. The intake manifold on the Chevelle has a lot of thought with us all involved on it. It's one of the big focal points of the car for sure. It's like, it's a big block, right? Like, you see everything, and it's got this massive wad of aluminum just chilling on the top of it. We wanted to make it sexy and like make it look like, wow, like this is very thought out.
Ready?
Yeah.
I take the bolt out.
Grab by the shotguns.
I feel like I'm holding the funny cars. A big old.
That's what it is. The blowers. Hey, I don't know if this intake's California legal.
Is that set
You
on?
gotta go on your side a little bit. Pick it up.
Yeah, hold on a sec.
There you go. There we
You
go.
in?
It's in.
All right, slide back a little bit. So now that we got the whole intake put together on the table, ran all the lines on the actual intake that we're gonna do, we're able to put it back on the car, and that's gonna give us a nice layout to where we're gonna run all our fluid lines for the car.
Oh my God, getting those bolts. They'll go. It's just gonna be rough.
Let me see.
This shit looks like an octopus, but you'll never see it. It's got the eyes.
Yeah, you can get your finger in here to get that.
They're good. Except that hose is gonna go towards me more. It's gonna be 90 degrees, like that, yeah.
That's even actually better. And that moves right there.
You can see light, so.
I mean, it'll go.
Yeah. All that, and you'll never see it. You can't even see purple. You look at it, you don't see anything. What a shame.
If you look at it, there are so many different things that are attached to the intake that it looks like fuel's going into the water tank, and it just looks absolutely insane. But yeah, it's all on there and looks good. It fit the way we wanted it to, so we're super stoked on it. So we're putting everything on the line, right, for our SEMA debut. And I know the Chevelle's gonna get a lot of love. It's going into Battle of the Builders. It's also super important for the Chargers to get the same amount of love as the Chevelle. So I'm gonna do everything I can to make sure that these cars are not overlooked. They're in the spotlight. So this is our showroom here.
Awesome.
So for the Charger, this is kind of like was one of the inspirations, right? We wanted to take kind of the hypercar style into the classic car world, right? So we decided, hey, this car's full carbon, like let's figure out, a way to do a full carbon car. So we found this company, Finale Speed, who makes a Charger that's carbon fiber. So called them, talked to them, and was able to get not one, but two of them, 2 carbon cars. So, I mean, yeah, this is kind of the inspiration.
When I got the call from Riccardo, he wanted me to come down and see this shop and see these builds that he was working on. And I'll be honest, I was a little skeptical. Blazin Rodz isn't a well-known builder. It's not somebody that a lot of people know. SEMA's just a few months away. What's the plan?
Our plan as of right now is to take these 3 cars to SEMA. I know it's a huge, huge time crunch, but we are doing everything we can to make it happen, and we're gonna keep pushing until the very end.
Having a vehicle placed inside the SEMA show is a game changer. Having the opportunity to display your work of art in front of millions of people can really change people's lives. It's not just about being on the main stage, but there's hidden benefits that come afterwards. It's people following you on social media. It's having more eyeballs on your vehicle than you've ever seen before.
So I would say about 65 to 70% of the cars now are built on the computer. So now we're 3D printing a lot of stuff, we're machining a lot of parts. So we're kind of eliminating that error factor that when you build a car by hand, when you're building a fender, it's hard to get this side to match perfectly with the other side. When it comes to the Chargers, like the whole front end, everything's 3D scanned. The whole interior is gonna be 3D printed, 3D designed. I actually have a car that I can show you that incorporates all that and to show you how fast we can put a car together.
Technology continues to push all of us forward and even to an uncomfortable state. It's really been nice to see the next generation step up into the automotive aftermarket world and start building vehicles in such a different facet, with such a different mindset. They're using modern technology, they're using computers, 3D printing, they're using so many different elements that previous builders had never even considered or even had access to.
If you look at this car, everything in this car is 3D printed, like everything. For example, my partner on his Rolls Royce, this is kind of simulates the dash that he has in there. If you look at the panel from a passenger side to driver all the way around, they're all perfect because of 3D printing and 3D scanning.
So Blazin Rodz being a new shop is both an advantage and a disadvantage. The advantage is low expectations. The disadvantage is the fact that they are unknown and people aren't going to maybe come to the booth. Maybe they don't recognize the name. Maybe they don't come to the press conference. Maybe they don't even want to see the vehicle because it's just something that they've never heard of before.
All right, so this is the heartbeat for it right here. So what's absolutely crazy about this motor and what's gonna make this build like way over the top, if you look on the valve cover, SN01, so from Dodge, serial number 1 engine from them. So this is the first one of 1,500 horsepower that Dodge has made.
Having a vehicle inside the Hemmings booth is extremely competitive. There are tons of vehicles and builders that reach out to us and want to be placed in the central hall. It's really hard to commit to it this year.
Okay.
Maybe even next year. You know, you're a new shop, you guys are new builders, you're new to the game in the SEMA world. It's a big commitment that you're asking us to really agree to right now.
Okay. I understand. I understand where you're coming from.
And remember, you're a new shop, right? You're a new builder to the game. A lot of people don't know who you guys are yet. So if it's not this year, maybe it's next year. There's tons of opportunity.
After this year, they'll know who we are. Yeah, I mean, I hope that maybe in the near future we can do something together. I'll keep sending you pictures, of the car. If you guys have, change of heart or, want it, we'll just keep in touch that way.
We'll keep in constant communication. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep building it. Let's see where it goes.
Cool. So the steering column that we're going with is a Flaming River steering column. So Spencer came up with this idea, let's take the steering column from the Audi R8, because since we're using that steering wheel, which is crazy about this is we're gonna incorporate pretty much everything you see here besides these two parts. And then we're gonna have like our ignition on here, our different modes, different drive modes. So like rating it from like 1,000 horsepower to 1,500 to 2,000, and then full kill mode, 2,800 horsepower, give her all the beans. Let's cut the splines off of the Flaming River. Let's merge the splines that are on the Audi steering wheel, put that all together. We can use the clock spring that runs all the wiring inside the Audi steering wheel on this Flaming River, and you got something that works.
Like a lathe. Precision. Oh my God, it's such good. Okay, so this.
Take that clock spring out. You don't need that anymore.
No, we're gonna need something. My whole family, they're mechanics, they own automotive shops, and I just grew up around that all the time. That was like after school, I'd be at the shop and just hanging around, and then just kind of started my love for it. Started working for them early on, and it was my life.
So this essentially has to sit.
Maybe even a little farther out, depends.
Should we put this on? Let's put this on the steering wheel and bolt this down to the steering wheel, and then see how far it sits, and then we'll set it on there. Part of what I love about it is that there's always something new. Nothing's ever the same. You can be building, 3 cars, none of them are gonna be exactly the same. There's always different challenges, different problems, different things you gotta overcome.
So I'm gonna have to go around threads.
We're gonna have to cut the threads off.
I might have to pull that column apart, the top shaft, and like turn it down so like the bushing's not around threads.
We're gonna have to cut this thing down like super short.
Here, let me measure what that old one was, because that was like the good distance for the steering wheel. I was always like really like hands-on. I love building things and just anything that's mechanical, like putting stuff together.
Wow.
So that's that.
Oh, I might kiss you right now, dude.
It started out as basic like repair work, and then it transitioned to, oh, we were like fabricating and like welding on stuff like off-road Jeeps and doing body work, like just anything to do with like building something.
Only about 36 screws in one steering wheel for some freaking reason. There's like a full wiring harness in the steering wheel. That's new technology for you. It's like, what is this? What is this? Why is there so many freaking plugs on this one switch? All the components that are on the inside are not gonna work for us. So what we have to do is we're gonna take all these boards and pretty much take everything that's on these factory boards inside the switch panel, take all those off. We're gonna mount our own new micro switches and make all our own buttons work for that steering wheel. We're gonna figure this out together. Do y'all know how to take this apart? We all sat down and we discussed that, hey, you know what? We have a budget. What is it that we need to do to come swinging home runs, right? So it's like, yeah, we can build a normal Chevelle, right? Do something clean, classy. But is that gonna get us the big exposure that we need? Not really.
What's up, brother?
What's up, dude?
That piece turned out sweet.
Yeah, just when we scanned it, so we cut it down, so just,
Yeah,
now I
because it didn't fit originally, right?
so
Got a call from Pops. He just wants to kind of go over budget because we have 3 cars at the same time and it's a lot of money going out. And I mean, we're not over it by any means, but we're getting close. But I mean, it's what happens when you're balancing 3 cars at the same time.
we're, like you said, we're buying stuff for this car. We have like 90% for this car. Whatever we bought for car 1, we bought for car 2, which we don't even have yet. I mean, Chevelle budget is, I know it's getting close to what we expected, and it's happening fast because there's so many parts that we're making. Just the fuel cell, for instance, that's a big ticket.
Yeah, and we're
just
doing
on that.
5 things at once, which obviously
we're making, we're designing all the parts and then we're getting everything cut at one time. So, the tickets are bigger.
100%.
But
and he didn't seem mad. He didn't seem angry. It was just more of those conversations where he was like, I just need to see and like explain which.
Yeah, I mean, everything's, you have everything accounted for.
And like
we have at the end of the day, like, I know what these cars should sell for.
Yeah.
I know what we should put into them. I know what our percentage is that we need to make on each car. So
and
I'm
Jason,
confident. Yeah.
Jason knows that. We all know where the car is being sold. It's not like it's going to sit in the corner, never go anywhere. Like, it's going to be a profitable car either way.
I just want to make
think
sure
he just needs to see it on paper because he has access to the Excel document, like I've always given him. And I think he saw it go from about yay big in lines to about boom in a month. So I think he just wants to be like, okay, what's going on? And honestly,
Yeah, I mean,
not a big
if you guys have any like concerns on, what we're, what's.
I think he just wants to see it with his eyes.
Yeah, as long as we're both on the same page, everything's gonna work out. Everything's gonna pan
100%.
out. So.
And I'm right there with you when you buy everything. So it's not like I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
It's really hard when all of us, we want to do crazy things with this car, but sometimes we have to take a step back and be like, this $10,000 carbon fiber piece is not worth $10,000, and we need to draw back and see what else we can do to make sure it still looks badass, but not spend ultimate dimes where it could be pennies.
Working on a complete, carbon car, it's my first time, and there is a lot of challenges on that because when you're working on a car that's sheet metal, if you want to, change something in the design of the body, you can. In carbon, once you have that carbon panel, it's pretty much, it is what it is, right? Unless you're remaking the whole panel. Carbon, Ain't no, ain't no going back. So once you cut it, you got to stick with it. Blazin Rodz is not even a year old yet. You know, coming from my other shop, you know, there is still definitely learning curves that I would have hit, you know, with, you know, when I was solo, that I am hitting now. We're shooting to make the, you know, the Chevelle to be 100%. We're shooting for the 2 Chargers to be 100%. But don't you want that, like, wow, they built that Chevelle in 1 year. Well, wait a minute, there's 2 Chargers. How'd they do 3 of those cars in 1 year? It's just mind-blowing. Fuel door. Oh, it's crooked.
What's up, boys?
What's up?
What's happening?
Same.
Same. All right, so where we at?
How much want to know? Is that what you want to know?
Do I really want to know?
That's the question. Do you really?
Yeah, I do really.
I mean,
gotta know.
Okay, well,
Gotta know how much we're putting out so we know how
well, I
much we
can-
need to bring in. I consider myself part of the team on this one. On a lot of investments I have, I'm just a guy who writes a check and, you know, talk to him once a month. We go over numbers and stuff, but with this, it's every day.
I mean, Chevelle right now, in just in parts, I would say 250, 300.
yeah. So we're about 300 grand in parts.
Like
Yeah,
why we're
that's pretty good.
like why we're printing so much. We're actually,
Saving money, honestly. Now.
yeah. There's a lot of money that we're saving that we're not having to outsource that we're printing here now. You know, it may seem like money's just flowing and doesn't matter, but it does. It's a huge factor. You know, every dollar spent, I feel, you know, it's vital. There's like nothing left on the Chevelle that's going to be original anymore. The roof is changing, the hood is changing, the front fenders are changing, the door skins are changing, the trunk is changing. Everything on that car is getting changed. So Justin is essentially,
Rebuilding a car.
we spend it very strategically. And the money that we do spend is spent on things that we need. Every dollar we spend is accounted for and what we're doing. And, you know, because at the end of the day, it is a business, you know. The way I see it, right, is at this point in the build, right, if we were, let's just say we weren't doing this, let's say we didn't have Blazin Rodz and you were coming to me to build this car. What does it cost to build? You're $2+ million to build this car. And it just is what it is. There's so much time that we have into it, and all the custom parts we're making. I mean, every single thing on that car we're making it, you know. So we have a lot riding on the Chevelle and also the Chargers. There's a lot of money into these cars. It's a big upfront that we're doing. If we don't get what we expect out of the car, I mean, it's just like any other business, you know. You're either gonna make it or you're not. We're just doing everything we can to, to watch every dollar, and make the right decisions. You know, I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you and tell you that I can make, every decision I make is gonna be a 100, because I'd be lying.
Yeah, it doesn't happen.
But at this
And the
point,
fuel cell being almost 50 grand, that doesn't help either.
yeah.
Whose idea was that? Who you looking at?
Change the light bulb.
Who you looking at? I don't get to make any, I don't make any big decisions, but so hopefully the decisions they're making are good, right? If not, we'll see. When's SEMA? November?
Well, right there, that's a wheel.
That's the tire.
That's a wheel right there. Any car that you finally get the tires on, you set it on its weight, it's just like, it's definitely a breath of fresh air. See it there. It's like you get to stand back and finally, like, it starts to give you that look of where the car's going, what shape it's starting to take. That's how that Titanic sounded. Dude, this thing's so low. For Waylon, he can step on the roof, dude. One shot.
Oh, damn, like this thing, it hasn't been on its own weight in 7 months. But that moment of setting it on the ground, and I'm used to looking at it like 18 inches high on a lift, and then all of a sudden I'm staring down at the car like, God damn, that thing's crazy.
It's on the ground.
Oh, the front end didn't snap.
No, that's what we were watching.
Look at how low, look at how much you look down on the engine.
I know,
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's mid.
Waylon, stand on that side of the car. I want to see where the car is compared to your big ass, dude.
Oh, yeah. You're standing next to a drag car. I love Chevelles just because my dad had an old clapped out one. So I've always been like, this car is the baddest car ever because I was 6 in it, 6 in a loud V8, it's slower than hell, but like, it was awesome. So I've always had like a part of me that like loved Chevelles for sure. We still mention it here and there. And we're just building a Chevelle, so they're really cool. And I think my dad especially would be like, that's badass, so I love it.
It's a little low, but the back I think has to go down some.
Yeah, back definitely has to go down. It's got so much rake right now.
It'll be lower once you bring the back down. If you bring,
Fuck, these shocks are blown out.
there's no nitrogen in them.
They should work better than that at least.
Shit like a 93 Tercel, dude.
Even when I talk to my grandparents who are car people and talk to them about what I do, I mention a 70 Chevelle and my grandpa just jumps out of his seat. It's something you've seen in movies like John Wick, Talladega Nights, all types of things, and it's a car that is just known the second you see it.
Hit those switches.
What a hoopty, huh?
It is a hoopty. All right, scratch the project. We're putting it in a hoopty.
You know what's crazy? Those are the shocks that are supposed to be on this car. Now that's on the ground, I actually want to do certain things a certain way because it's going to flow better. So you get that, like I said, it's just a breath of fresh air it like restarts you, gives you like a different pump on getting the build done. Yo, Scotty.
Yo, what's up?
Dude, we got a huge problem.
What?
Huge. Car 2 of the Chargers, supposed to be here.
Yesterday, right?
Yes.
That's
Okay. I talked to them. Bro, they're telling me 4 to 6 weeks from today.
on the car
Yes.
that we're supposed to have yesterday.
Yes. So I said, I need to see pictures of what status of the car. It is literally just the skin. There is no carbon on the car. So in my eyes, problems are easy because they come by themselves, right? You don't have to look for them. They're just there. The hardest part is finding the solution, finding the right solution. In the beginning,
We made the timelines.
we made the timelines, we made everything right. I promised your dad, I said, hey, we're gonna take these two cars and the Chevelle to SEMA, okay? And I don't want to go have that conversation with your dad to tell him that we're not taking
I don't even want to be around for that conversation.
Okay, so I need you to take care of this. I can't talk to you anymore because I'm gonna lose my shit. So I need you to handle this, and I need you to figure out, do whatever you can to make this happen. I mean, we gotta do whatever we can to make this happen.
I'll call as many people
Please.
as I can and see what I can do, and hope for the best.
Yeah, I don't know how. Even if I get the car in
A week.
a week, 2 weeks, I can't make it. There's no way.
Yeah, that's the hardest thing about trophies right now is everybody wants one, everybody's giving one. I mean, every sporting event now for kids, I mean, if you're in 5th place, you get a trophy. What's the point? You know, you're not We're not teaching the kids anything at that point. We're just, hey, yeah, you won. You're always a winner. If you get third place, what do you want a trophy for? You know, what, you want to be in second place? You want to be in first place. That's it. You want to win.